And welcome to Two Wheels, the MotoGP channel, where we talk, well, obviously, things on two wheels that go fast. And go fast they will this week because it is, well, it's been race week for a while. I know we're recording this on Thursday. It is the MotoGP hits Brazil for the first time in quite a while. And it's really, really lovely saying that. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be fast after what was an absolutely insane opening round in Thailand. We are going to be sticking it to Brazil. And will Marc Marquez be sticking it to Brazil and everybody else after what was quite the disappointing show in Thailand? So lean in, hang on, let's carry on. And the last time we were in Brazil was 22 years ago. Imagine that, 22 years ago. That is probably before some of you watching this now, hopefully, were born. It's probably before some of the riders were even born. I mean, that's just absolutely insane, isn't it? Weird fact. Let's get into our weird Brazilian fact. Now, you don't fill up your own bike at the petrol station. You just sit there like royalty while someone else handles that side quest. Weird, I know, but it's a thing in Brazil. You don't do your own petrol pumping. I would find that very, very strange. Either car or bike, yeah, weird. And talking about strange things, check this out. This was the circuit yesterday's heavy rain hits the Brazilian Grand Prix track for MotoGP, and 30 minutes later, you don't need a boat anymore. I mean, it's absolutely insane. Look at that first image. No one is getting to, no one's getting to that first corner on their motorbike. No. They're going to be swimming to the first corner. So thank goodness. More storms are supposedly predicted. But like, Brazil's one of those countries where, even like in the UK, it's the weather in certain parts and certain climates is very, very hard to predict. So, well, I guess we'll probably be looking at the weather maybe after Friday practice. But is this the man of the hour? Probably. The Sprint Win Championship leader, Pedro Acosta, now chases a maiden victory. I mean, yeah. He does, doesn't he? And it's been a long-standing thing with him, hasn't it, for a while. It's that elusive first win. He's got that sprint win. And I think even Cole Fogarty mentioned, well, that's not really a win. I think that's harsh. Yes. It's not the win like a GP win. I'd like to see it maybe like half a win, 50% of a win. Is that fair? But he is staying grounded. As you can see here, he said, we are not in the fight for the championship. Now, I find that a bit strange because he's kind of leading the championship. This was him earlier on, well, this is Thursday, earlier on today.
It's cool, you know, but at the end, like I say, I know that maybe it's not my place to be, you know, like you can imagine it's super nice to see yourself in top of the MotoGP world standing, but
it is.
It's not our target now. I have to keep working like I'm doing. I was really happy about the race that we do in Thailand because I was committing mistake, like I say, that
I mean, it was a very good race in Thailand, wasn't it? He had a very good weekend. Probably potentially his best weekend ever in MotoGP. He is the talk of the hour.
Normally making last year. But we have to keep working like this, and that's it.
And that's it, apparently. Keep working like this, and that's it. Well, talking about him, here is the standings. Mr. Acosta is a leading 12 points from the sprint, 20 from the GP, with a total of 32. Bezzecchi, well, he decided to give everyone a chance in the sprint race, clearly, didn't he? Yeah, on purpose. In the GP, he was 25th. Points, not 25, not 25th, actually placed 25th, 25 points by winning it. Fernandez is third with a total of 23 points in the championship. Jorge Martin, 18th. And you need to look all the way. Well, look at that. Look how far down Mr. Marquez is. That's not very good at all. Who would have imagined that? Poor Mr. Marquez. And speaking of an interesting stat, tweeted by MGP1, for the first time in almost 10 years, the top 6 of the riders' standings are now a Ducati-free zone. A Ducati-free zone. Wow. I mean, this is after the 2016 Australian Grand Prix. No Ducatis. And again, 2026, 10th anniversary. No Ducatis. Not quite 10th, I think, because that would have been like Phillip Island, which is a bit further on, let's say. Yeah. Well, we'll talk about Phillip Island in another video, let's be honest. But yeah, I say. This is the track. This is the Brazilian Grand Prix. Now, let's try and pronounce it. It's the Autodromo Internazionale de Guano Ayrton Senna. Well, what a name. Okay, I know, not synonymous with bike Senna, but he very much was synonymous with racing cars and going fast in Brazil. So 31 laps for the MotoGP, 26 for the Moto2, and 24 for the Moto3. It is a circuit of, total distance they're doing, 23 miles for the MotoGP one. Now, the circuit itself, here we go. Total length, 3.84 kilometres. If you want it old school like us, here in the UK, it's 2.38 miles. Total width, 12 metres. That's wide, I guess. The longest straight is nearly a kilometre, 994 metres. But if you want feet, we're talking 3,261.15 feet. Right-hand corners, 9. Left-hand corners, 5. So that is that. Huge news for this weekend's Brazilian MotoGP round. This is Max Oaksley, and he's talking about the tyres, which may well be good for Aprilia. Not so good for Ducati, he said. It's another high-stress layout, so all 3 Michelin rear slicks have heat-resistant carcasses, which is okay. And usually these tyres work better for, he said, the flowing bikes. Now, that is going to be bikes like the Aprilia. And stop-and-go bikes like the Ducati may well struggle. I guess we're going to have to see, aren't we? It's definitely going to get exciting. Here it is here as well. Michelin gearing up for Brazil and upgrading its tyres. At the rear, the tyres feature stiffer casings and more durable compounds on the right side, and there will be more options and a large selection of tyres. We're prepared through simulations. Now, following the season opening race in Thailand, MotoGP has been ahead for South America, it says. This track represents completely new territory. We haven't been here before. We haven't, 20 plus years since no one's testing has been conducted. This is why it could be very exciting. The sprint race could tell us quite a lot as well and be key to where we think, after the sprint race, who we think is going to win in the big race. So, yeah. It does have challenges. Simulations have shown that the motorcycle spend most of the lap leaning to the right, with over 50 seconds of cumulative load. This characteristic, combined with predominantly right-hand fast corners, generates what they're saying is a significant increase in that tyre temperature. Simulations indicate that thermal stresses could be particularly high, making the circuit one of the most demanding on the calendar for tyres. And it's one they've not been to. It's one they've not tested. I mean, it's really, really good. Now, before we get into our predictions, let's get on to Marc Marquez about the shoulder injury. He's come in and said, it's good. I'm happy because I've already felt progress, this constant evolution, which is what's important, not stagnating. He said, it was the first time I was able to do 2 days of motocross almost back to back with a day and a half. So his shoulder is always improving. A lot of people questioned that the Marc Marquez we got in Thailand may not have been the Marc Marquez of, let's be fair, the most of 2025 dominating, but we'll see. And also, the other question is his Ducati any good? Well, that is most certainly something we are going to be getting into in a second, simply because it's our predictions. So, let's now talk about our predictions, shall we? Deep breath. Who do we think, our podium predictions at the very least, so who do we think is going to be doing very well? Who do we think is going to be doing very bad in our predictions? Well, I'm just going to predict the podium. I don't want to, slag too many people off. So, in third place, we have the man who apparently Mr. Acosta has absolutely gone completely missing. There he is. So in third place, we've got Pedro Acosta. The reason why, he is the man that's on form. He's currently leading the MotoGP Championship. Who would bet against him? Now, in second place, it's not Acosta, obviously. It is this guy here. Yeah, I don't think he's going to win the MotoGP, but I think he's going to do very well. So for the main race, I think he's going to finish in second. I may well revise that after the sprint. We're going to have to see. But there we go. He's going to be second. Simply because it is Marc Marquez. Now, his talent, whether you like him or not, I get he's Marmite for some people, but his talent can more than make up for a certain deficiency in the Ducati, and I certainly think it will. The big test is going to be that sprint race and how much of that tyre, how much of an issue the Ducati will be on the tyres, and it'll be looking at Marc Marquez and how fast is he towards the end of the race. Now, some people may well be like, well, if he slows down, it could be his injury as well, but we'll have to see. Now, in the lead, the man who I think is going to win is this guy here, Marco Bezzecchi, simply because he's doing very well, isn't he? And his secret weapon. He has a secret weapon, otherwise known as an Aprilia. So, there. Marc Marquez, I don't think is going to beat Mr. Bezzecchi, an on-form Bezzecchi in the Aprilia. So, just to clarify, we have Mr. Acosta. I predict he's going to be finishing 30 years, and he is the on-form guy so far, based on just a sprint and a race, but he's doing very well. Next up, I predict it's going to be Marc Marquez in the Ducati, simply because he's Marc Marquez. The Ducati, as we mentioned, may have some tyre issues. I think he will rise above that. Speaking of rising above things, rising above them all, in first place, I'm predicting Marco Bezzecchi, simply because this guy is very good. He is amazing in an Aprilia, and it's going to be the capital A, I think, that's going to be ruling the Brazilian Grand Prix for MotoGP. Stay with us as we will be looking at the sprint race, qualifying, etc. Thank you very much. And I haven't asked yet, do we? What do YouTubers do? Well, they say like and subscribe. So if you can, please like and subscribe. That will be let's be fair, that will be absolutely amazing. If you can like and subscribe, that would make me happy. But until then, we'll speak to you soon. There it is. There it is. He's back. The like and subscribe. See you later.